So in this tutorial we're going to look at compound functions. If you're not sure about functions themselves, then go and have a look at the previous tutorial on functions, the basics, and then come back to this one. So what's a compound function? Well, the notation you'll see is this fg and then of x or brackets x, and you just need to know that fg means f applied to g of x. In other words, the g of x goes inside the f of x, and remember in the basics tutorial, whatever's inside the bracket replaces the x. Okay, and indeed that's what we say here. Put g of x wherever you see x in f of x, and then we just simplify. So here we go. Let's have a go at a couple of questions. So we have two functions, f of x, which is 3x minus 1, and g of x, which is x squared. And we're asked to find fg of x. So let's just write down our basic piece of knowledge that fg of x actually means f of g of x. Okay, and so we're going to replace x in f by g of x. But what is g of x? It's x squared. So now we're back to the basics of functions, that wherever I see an x in f of x, so here's f of x and there's just the one x there, I'm going to replace it by x squared. And so I get 3 times x squared minus 1. Okay, and although I don't need to do much simplifying here, I will just write that more neatly as 3x squared minus 1. Okay, now you'll often be asked to find the thing the other way round. So this is gf of x. And we just do the same thing, but with the letters the other way around. So again, the basic piece of knowledge is that gf of x means g applied to f of x. And so we just put f of x inside the bracket here. F of x is 3x minus 1. And now, wherever we see an x in g of x, so there it is with a squared, we just replace that by 3x minus 1. And so this is 3x minus 1 squared. Because g of x is x squared, and so g of 3x minus 1 is 3x minus 1 squared. I don't really need to multiply that out because that's nice and neat. Right, let's have a look at one more question. It's only slightly more complicated, and the real point of this is part B is slightly different. So let's do part A very quickly. Again, we're asked to find fg of x. So we use our knowledge that fg of x means f applied to g of x. What is g of x? G of x is x squared minus 1. So this is f applied to x squared minus 1. And then we just simply replace the x in f of x equals 2x plus 1 with x squared minus 1. So this is 2 times x squared minus 1 plus 1. So there we go. We've replaced that x by x squared minus 1. And now we simplify. A little bit of multiplying out to do. We multiply the 2 by everything inside the bracket, both the x squared and the minus 1. And we get 2x squared minus 2 plus 1, which I can simplify further to give me 2x squared minus 1. Now, this part B is a bit different. It says find ff of x. Well, just by the same process, we can say ff of x logically should be f applied to f of x, and indeed it is. So what is f of x? F of x is 2x plus 1, and so f of 2x plus 1, well, we replace the x in 2x plus 1 by 2x plus 1. So we get 2 times 2x plus 1 plus 1. And there we see from our original function that 2x plus 1 has become 2x plus 1 plus 1. Okay, sounds a bit complicated, but actually it's quite straightforward. So then a little bit more simplifying. Again, multiply out the brackets, and I get 2 times 2x, which is 4x, plus 2. Still got the plus 1 on the end, and that gives me 4x plus 3. And that is how we do compound functions. If you're looking for inverse functions, they're in another tutorial.